If you were to Google how to close the digital divide, you would not come up empty-handed. As a quick precursor, for those of you who may be unfamiliar, the digital divide refers to the inequalities in finances, education and social status faced by those without computers and access to the internet versus those who do. Because having equal access to digital technology is at the core of the divide, broadband availability, or the lack thereof, has become a highly publicized and debated topic between politicians and telecommunications companies, telcos, alike. Nevertheless, the divide still remains and arguably will continue to remain unless the following 5 steps are taken. Step 1. Redirect federal funding distribution. The federal government has allocated and continues to allocate ample funding toward closing the digital divide. Consequently, over the past 20 years, we've been able to raise broadband standards considerably, at least in urban and suburban markets. Unfortunately, however, the majority of these funds are awarded to major telcos and incumbent providers, and without a guaranteed long-term revenue case in rural America, they have minimal incentive to invest in new infrastructure or to improve current infrastructure. While this may make sense for their personal bottom lines, it does not benefit the American public. So, if large telcos can't or won't service rural America, who will? First, if you have an option to buy from a small local provider, do so. You will consequently be supporting your local economy. However, the problem with totally relying on the little guys is that they are, in fact, the little guys, and often don't have access to or the power to access the spectrum of state-of-the-art equipment or fiber assets that enable other providers to offer competitive, cost-effective and high bandwidth. Another option is the middle road between mom and pop and the incumbent providers, the need-sized internet service provider. As it currently stands, need-sized ISPs do not have the financial resources of big telcos to build out low-cost products with long return on investment, thus making them less competitive for consumers. However, if granted adequate funding to build out infrastructure, these mid-sized telcos have the opportunity to give the mega ISPs true competition, ultimately keeping the market honest, fair and favored toward the public's best interest. Step 2. Open the airwaves. Fairly as it currently stands, today's major cellular companies hold the vast majority of wireless spectrum allotted by the FCC to resolve the digital divide. These services, while important, do not currently deliver the entire bandwidth necessary to meet the needs of all unconnected Americans. However, the United States still has ample wireless spectrum available,